The Hidden Breath, Episode 1, Depths of the Lowlands. They said the earth once sighed and the world dimmed. In the chronicles of the 500 CE, it came first as smell, a weight in the air that animals sensed before humans did. Centuries later, the same story returned in the 1300s. Darkened skies, rivers turned bitter, cities coughing out their lives. Between them stretches a silence scholars call the Dark Ages, as if the world itself had stopped to breathe. Sulfur, rotten eggs, a sweetness that burned the throat, heavier than air. The breath slid downhill and pooled where water rested. Those who lived in the hollows saw mist rise without rain, watched torches flicker blue, heard wells whisper. The sickness came to them first. They called it plague or curse or even God's punishment, because language always arrives before understanding. But gas needs no faith to kill. It only needs stillness. Hydrogen sulfide, the hidden twin of oil, the ghost in the rock, it moves low and slow, invisible, patient. At first it warns with smell, then steals the warning itself, numbing the sense that could have saved you. When the mix is right, a single spark turns the valley to fire. Old accounts speak of flames that danced on swamps and rivers, of barns that exploded in the night, of light that burned without smoke. To those who wrote the stories, it was witchcraft or wrath. To the earth, it was chemistry. The chronicles tell of mountains splitting and shifting, seas withdrawing, rain and floods that followed quakes. Each tremor opens veins in the crust, each upheaval frees the breath below. In the confusion of collapsing towns, men dug deeper for water, for shelter, for answers, and sometimes struck death instead. Wells and mines became traps, caves turned to tombs. Crops failed where the gas had touched the roots. Livestock drank, fell, rotted and poisoned the ponds, streams, springs and rivers that fed the living. No one could see the chain, only its consequences. Look at the pattern etched into survival. The highlands endure, the lowlands perish. From the Andes to the Alps, from forgotten terraces in Asia to stone cities above the desert floor, people built upward. Faith may have called them closer to heaven, but memory kept them clear of the hollows. The mountain is not only sacred ground, it is clean air. Perhaps those who climbed did not worship the sky. They remembered the stench that rolled beneath it. When bodies piled high, infection followed. Boils, fever, the rot of starvation, each an echo of exposure. What began as gas became disease. What began as geology became myth. The plague and the fire, different names for the same unraveling. And when the second wave struck centuries later, the same stories were told again, as if time had looped. Some whisper that history itself was bent. The records folded to hide a single long catastrophe. Maybe the world didn't end twice. Maybe we counted the same breath twice. Modern science gives the breath a formula, a flashpoint, a threshold. Oil fields, volcanoes, swamps, mines, we know where it sleeps now. Yet even today it wakes. A drilling rig erupts in flames. A lake overturns and kills in silence. A vent hisses beneath the sleeping town. We measure, we monitor formations. We wear masks, we flare it off before pressure exceeds maximum allowable capacities. But still we look at the gauges the way our ancestors looked at the sky, hoping it stays calm. So the stories survive of poison that moves with the wind, in water that burns, of valleys where no bird sings. The earth shifts, exhales, humanity coughs, and legends take the shape of breath. Perhaps those who built on the mountains were not fleeing gods at all. Perhaps they were remembering what the lowlands forgot. The truth is not lost, it waits in the hollows, heavier than air, patient as stone, whispering the same lesson to anyone who dares to listen.